Hello brothers and sisters of the interwebs, Steel Phoenix here, and welcome to a new series actually. It's a what if series, not a theory series. Nowhere near a theory series. Anything done in this series I do not expect to come true. It's a what if scenario. It doesn't have much evidence to support it, if any, and it's not anything that I hold extremely valid. It's just a sort of fun thing for me to do, sort of as a, hey, I'm going to entertain you guys while we're in a sort of theory drought, since we're in the middle of a season right now. And as I said at the beginning, I'm not going to do many theories during the season because it'll probably be proven false shortly afterward, knowing the way that my luck normally goes. But before we get into the actual meat and grits of this, I recently checked the straw poll that I set up 2 weeks ago, and everyone wants to do a Q&A. So in the comments below, or on my Twitter, you can tweet at me and say what you want me to answer as far as questions go. Can be anything at once. Without further ado, let's get into the actual what if scenario, and that's the what if scenario of what if Summer and Zwei are the same being. It all starts approximately 14 years ago, shortly after Summer had given birth to Ruby Rose. She was contacted by Osbin for a secret assignment. Being a silver-eyed maiden, he believed her to be the only one capable of defeating what he believed to be Remnant's greatest threat. Salem, her being leader of the best team of their year, he believed, made her more than fit for the job if anyone were to be. She was sent to the far reaches to find anyone that may know of Salem or whereabouts. She eventually made it to the far south peninsula of Vacuo, and a small town on the coast. She asked around if there were any rumors or legends or anything, and several times got the same story of an island, regarded by the people as one of pure evil. Nobody would take her there, no matter how much she was willing to pay, because the tales of the island said that if anyone were to ever go there, they never returned the same, if they did at all. She eventually found a man in the inn who was willing to take her there. He was a traveler and a sailor, a survivor of the Great War that did odd jobs such as transportation for money, and for his love of the sea. She paid him half before they left, as they had agreed. They set sail in early morning, as it was the farthest island from the peninsula, a larger island to the south of the chain of islands to the east. As they sailed, they encountered several aquatic grimm that grew more ferocious as they approached the island. By dusk, they could see the island. It had an unusual purple hue about it. It was a few hours into the night by the time they had reached the island. The shore, despite how dark it was clearly visible due to its snowy white sand, dotted with dark purple rocks, which they used one of to anchor the ship to the island. Summer had told the captain to stay with the ship for his own safety, which was only half true. The other reason she wanted him to stay was in case she couldn't defeat who she had been sent to defeat, so he wouldn't cause panic upon their return. She moved inland to a cave a few miles in and rested for a bit, and ate before she continued with her mission. She had slept on the ship, so she was well rested already. Halfway through the night, she moved further inland, spotting a fortress or castle of some sort on one of the mountains. She went toward it, assuming that was where her target was. She found steps chiseled into the mountain itself. As she approached and climbed the mountain, keeping her eye out for any guards that might be on lookout. She found none, even as she approached the gate to the fortress. She jumped to the top of the wall and into the main courtyard. Still, not a single guard. She found this odd. Only the sound of Grimm in the distance, though that was to be expected with a location with a reputation like this one had. She went into the building through a window to keep the element a surprise, and started trying to find her way through the corridors of the strange building. seemingly built into the mountain it was on. As she crept through the fortress, she found it odd that there wasn't a soul in the whole building, it seemed. She eventually found what appeared to be a courtroom, with a large table in the center. At the far end was several steps leading to a throne, upon which sat a woman whose skin was white as the sand on the beach, save for what appeared to be dark, blackish-purple roots creeping across her face and arms. Even her hair was a snowy white, though she seemed to dress herself in pitch-black robes and seemed to tie her hair up with black cloth. She walked across the room, hand on her weapon in case a woman tried to attack. She reached the bottom of the steps, and the woman remained seated in her throne, unmoving, almost as if she didn't notice she was there. "Are you the one the townsfolk of the peninsula spoke of?" she asked halfway, not expecting an answer. "I would assume so," the woman responded in a monotone voice. "So you're the one Osmond spoke of?" Summer said, tightening her grip on her weapon, as a scraping sound echoed through the chamber. "You're here because of him?" she said, gripping her chair in anger before standing up slowly and starting to walk down the steps. When she reached the bottom, she stared into Summer's eyes and squinted. "You have silver eyes, I see," she said quietly. Summer took a couple steps back, pulling her weapon into a deployed position, but still not striking. "So he sent you, thinking you could defeat me, then?" Salem said slightly louder, almost asking. "You will try," she said, narrowing her eyes at Summer. She then threw something at Summer, knocking Summer back and onto the table, which Summer quickly recovered from. But by the time she had, Salem had conjured a black ball of energy into her hand. She then noticed the black gem on Salem's forehead. She then lunged to attack, but before she did, Salem blasted her with the energy, though Summer raised her weapon to defend before it reached her, causing a bright flash to fill the room. When it had cleared, Summer looked around. Everything seemed bigger. Slowly, Salem walked to her and chuckled softly. "Osmond was a fool to think I could be defeated so easily. But I don't blame you for his lies," she said, shocking her with some of the energy, causing her to pass out. When she woke, she was in the grass, in a familiar place. She realized she was home. She approached the door, and just as she did, Ty came out to water his plants. She approached him, and though he wondered how a dog had gotten to his home, seemingly out of nowhere, he decided to keep it. And so Summer stayed, believed to be dead, but secretly watching over her family, fused with her weapon in the form of a dog, increasing her durability, and still being able to understand everyone around her, but unable to inform anyone of the events that had transpired, even Osmond, or Crow, who had been taken into Osmond's inner circle after her disappearance. So, that just came to mind about a week ago, and I was going to upload it earlier, and then I'm like, no, I'll do this as sort of part of my 3-part thing for my 300 subscribers. My other series will probably be in the next week, or it'll be combined with my 3rd part, which will be me actually answering the Q&A. It depends on how many questions I actually get for the Q&A. As I said earlier, comment any questions you have. Also, comment what you thought about the story. It's been a while since I've actually written anything, so I'm not entirely sure how good the story was. I know it wasn't very dialogue-heavy, because it was more actions than dialogue in this one. But, I thought it was a little interesting. I actually redid this. There's a version I originally did where I was just stuttering left and right, and I had it as a slightly different story when I started. Then I'm like, wait a second, I got better ideas on this. But, like if you liked, comment what you want to see in the future, and as I've said twice already, comment any questions you have for the Q&A. Subscribe to become part of the Phoenix Brotherhood, and as usual, thank you, have a nice day, and this is Steel Phoenix, signing off.